Good day everyone. So I will discuss the topic about taxation under the Americans. When the Americans took over the Philippines, they aimed to make the economy self-sufficient by maintaining a low-cost government and generating a budget surplus. From 1898 to 1903, they initially followed the Spanish taxation system, but reforms since it was outdated and unfair. The Urbana tax was replaced with a land tax on both urban and rural properties. However, problems arose due to disorganized land titling, political influence on land valuation, and widespread tax evasion among the elites. So, taxation under the Americans talks about how the American government changed and improved the tax system in the Philippines when they took control. Their goal was to make the Philippine economy stable while keeping government expenses low. To address these issues, the Internal Revenue Law of 1904 introduced 10 main sources of revenue, including taxes on alcohol, tobacco, banks, documents, business activities, and the cedula. The cedula rate was later fixed per adult male, reducing revenues, while the industrial tax on business became complex. The Underwood-Simons Tariff Act of 1913 removed export taxes on key goods like sugar and tobacco, decreasing government income. To compensate, Governor-General Harris encouraged higher tax collection and introduced minor changes, adding taxes on mines and petroleum. New taxes were later added: income tax 1914, inheritance tax 1919, and a national lottery 1932, but these were still insufficient to significantly boost government revenue. Now, let's proceed the topic about Mariano Herbosa's letter to Jose Rizal, August 29, 1886. Mariano Herbosa describes to Rizal the oppressive and confusing tax system in Calamba, which he says is the main cause of the people's misery. He explained that there are many kinds of taxes on land, whether irrigated, dry, or residential, and that the rates are arbitrary and unfair. Even unproductive rice land is taxed heavily, and taxes often increase when harvests are good but never decrease when they are poor. Residential lots are also taxed inconsistently depending on the official winds. Stone houses are charged high taxes up to 50 pesos, while nipa houses pay much less. Tax contracts are fixed for 4 years but still increase yearly, leading to confusion and bargaining among residents. Receipts are unreliable and often unsigned or lack the actual amount paid. Herbosa also mentions additional taxes on crops like maize, mungo, and garlic, which officials set without limits. On top of this, the town is suffering from locust infestations, destroying crops, and although the governor provided 50 pesos to pay locust catchers, they receive very little and the problem persists. That's all for today. Thank you for listening.